Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025.
Yep. And our mission, so to speak, is to unpack what this reading might suggest for you on that day. We're looking at love, finances, and career.
Okay, perfect. Let's jump right in then. Starting with love, relationships. The card pulled for you is the Page of Swords. What's the core feeling here?
Well, the Page of Swords in a love context is really interesting. Swords are often about the mind, communication, intellect.
Right, the mental stuff.
Precisely. And the page brings this youthful, almost restless curiosity to it. So it points to a time where you might be really keen to understand what your partner, or maybe a potential partner, is actually thinking.
So less about like big romantic gestures and more about figuring each other out mentally, getting on the same page.
Exactly that. The reading really emphasizes open, honest talk. And crucially, listening. That active listening piece is key. It's about building that mental connection, that desire to, learn about each other.
Okay, now the reading also mentions it talks about a possible new connection, something stimulating, or maybe seeing an existing relationship in a fresh light.
Yeah, it does.
And it hints at restlessness, wanting to move beyond routine. Could that flip into something negative, like maybe getting bored easily, even if the relationship is good?
That's a really sharp question. I mean, yes, that page energy can be scattered if you're not careful. It brings exploration, which is great. But you want to channel that constructively, right?
Talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it with your partner. Turn that curiosity into trying new things together, maybe. That could actually strengthen things. And if you're single, well, yeah, it could definitely signal someone new coming in who really sparks your mind.
Okay. And what's the guidance here? What should you do with this Page of Swords energy?
It's pretty direct, actually. Ask questions. Be genuinely curious. Have real conversations.
Not just surface chat.
No, definitely not. And really, listen, respond thoughtfully. That's how you build trust. The reading says to keep that curiosity and open-mindedness going, use it to work through any challenges. Basically, embrace the buzz, whether it's new or rekindled.
Got it. So for love on Wednesday the 23rd, it boils down to clear communication, keeping things mentally engaging and wanting to learn together. Stay curious. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Okay, let's pivot. Finances. The card here is the Three of Swords. Now that one often feels a bit heavier, doesn't it?
It certainly can, yeah. It often points directly to some kind of hardship or stress, financially speaking.
Like what kind of stress?
Well, the reading specifically mentions feeling overwhelmed, maybe by debt or bills piling up. It talks about anxiety around money impacting your well-being. And interestingly, it connects this to possible emotional attachments, like maybe holding on to material things too tightly or an idea of security that's actually causing more stress.
So it's not just about the bank balance. There's an emotional layer tangled up in this.
Absolutely. The interpretation really brings that out. The feeling of being burdened, the anxiety may be tied to past spending, or just the pressure. It kind of asks you to look at whether you're trying to fill an emotional gap with material stuff.
Okay. So if someone's feeling that, what's the first step? How do you start untangling that?
That's a good point. Maybe it starts with just acknowledging it, thinking about what really makes you feel secure beyond just the money itself.
Yeah, finding value elsewhere. So what guidance does the reading offer for dealing with this?
First off, it suggests trying to get a bit of emotional distance, not ignoring the problems, but stepping back from the immediate panic or sadness they might cause.
Okay. Detach a little.
Right, then reevaluate your priorities, what's truly important. It also advises looking hard at unnecessary expenses or debts that are weighing you down and figuring out how to let them go. And importantly, it suggests maybe seeking professional financial advice.
That makes sense. Getting an outside view when you're feeling emotional about money can be really helpful, can't it?
Definitely, an objective perspective. And there's another layer, too. Sometimes the Three of Swords points to lingering guilt, maybe regret about past money mistakes.
Oh, right. Carrying that baggage.
Exactly. So the advice is acknowledge it, learn the lesson, but then release that negativity. Don't let past mistakes dictate future anxiety. Focus on making wiser choices now.
Learn and move on. Okay. Does the reading suggest any concrete actions, like practical steps?
It does, yeah. Three main things, really. First, a proper financial inventory. Get brutally honest about debts, savings, expenses, see the whole picture.
Okay. Clarity.
Second, actively look for ways to cut back. Where can you realistically reduce spending and maybe redirect that money to debt or savings?
Makes sense.
And third, as we mentioned, seriously consider talking to a financial advisor. Get a personalized plan, a budget that actually works for you and your values.
Right. So the overall message for finance seems to be Face the emotional side, take practical steps to get control, and don't be afraid to ask for help to build a more secure path forward.
That sums it up nicely. It's about tackling it head on, emotionally and practically.
Okay, good stuff to consider if finances are feeling tough. Let's shift one last time. Career. The card here is the Knight of Wands. That sounds a lot more upbeat, more energetic.
Oh, definitely. The Knight of Wands usually signals a really dynamic phase. Think change, action, maybe even a bit of adventure in your work life.
Adventure. How so?
Well, it often suggests a significant transition is coming, or maybe a big opportunity is right around the corner. It's got this forward momentum. You know that person in the office who's always eager for the next big project, ready to charge ahead?
Yeah, the go-getter.
That's the kind of energy this card represents for your career right now.
Hmm.
It embodies action, courage, a real sort of fiery passion.
Fiery passion, okay.
Yeah, this knight is seen as bold, eager to lead, not really scared by challenges. So in your career, this could mean feeling a strong urge to break out of the routine, maybe look for more exciting roles, pursue new avenues.
Sounds like a time to maybe shake things up a bit, make some moves.
Could well be. This knight also often represents a real need for independence, for autonomy at work.
Ah, okay.
So you might be feeling any restrictions more keenly right now, like getting frustrated by red tape or feeling micromanaged.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The card encourages you to take more ownership, trust your gut instincts, and make sure your work decisions really line up with your core career values.
But with all that fire and drive, are there downsides, things to watch out for?
Absolutely. There's always a flip side,
Yeah.
right? The reading does caution against being too impulsive or reckless. It's about channeled energy, not just charging off cliffs.
Right, don't leap without looking.
Exactly. And there's also a potential for maybe conflict or power struggles. If that passionate energy isn't directed constructively, it could ruffle some feathers.
Okay, so temper the boldness with some strategy.
Precisely. But look, the positive side is huge. It's a chance to really embrace a pioneering spirit, explore new territory in your field.
Like leading a new project.
Yeah, or taking on a leadership role you haven't before, breaking new ground. It's a fantastic opportunity to show off your skills, your creativity, your vision.
Sounds exciting, actually. So what's the specific guidance for harnessing this Knight of Wands power?
Okay, the reading suggests a few things. First, pinpoint where you feel limited or unfulfilled right now. Get specific about the restrictions.
Acknowledge the problem areas.
Yep. Then brainstorm. Think outside the box for solutions or new directions. After that, define your vision. What does your ideal career path actually look like? What are your big goals?
Get clear on the destination.
Exactly. Then take calculated steps. Smart risks, not just random leaps. And finally, really tune into your intuition. Trust your gut. Make choices that feel right for you.
Okay, so the big picture for career on Wednesday the 23rd is, it's a call to action, basically. Be bold, but be smart about it. Use your passion, trust yourself, and know you can shape things.
That's it. It really emphasizes your own power, your agency, to create the opportunities you want.
Well, fantastic. That gives us a pretty clear picture, I think. We've looked at the Page of Swords for your love life.
Focusing on that communication and curiosity.
Right. Then the Three of Swords for finance.
Acknowledging the hardship, but finding ways emotionally and practically to move forward.
And finally, the Knight of Wands for career.
That call for bold, yet strategic, action in embracing new opportunities.
So there you have it, a deep dive into this specific tarot reading for April 23rd, 2025. Just a snapshot, obviously, based on this one source.
Exactly. Just potential energies and guidance for that particular day.
So maybe something to think about as you move forward. How could these themes play out for you beyond just Wednesday? Could focusing more on that open communication, that curiosity, really change things in your relationships long term?
Or what might happen if you consciously try to detach emotionally from money worries, just a bit, to gain perspective.
Yeah. And in your career, where could a little bit of that Knight of Wands boldness, that calculated risk, actually take you if you embraced it more often? Just some final thoughts to perhaps reflect on.
Food for thought, as you said to start.